So, Prograis versus Catterall. What are my thoughts? Well, I wouldn't say it's excitement because it's not like a 50-50 fight. For me, after Prograis' underwhelming performance against Haney, I definitely have Catterall as a favourite coming into this fight. But, if there's not excitement, there's definitely some intrigue about this fight. How much does Prograis have left? Because we've seen that he can be a really good fighter, He had that complete war with Josh Taylor, which was an exciting fight. It was a war. Both fighters gave it their all. And from what I've read about the fight, I didn't watch it live, so it's hard to tell. It sounds a little bit like Bivol Beterbiev, that depending on what sort of work you like, it really could have gone, either way. Some people had it a draw. Some people had it slightly to either way. I mean, he definitely hurt Josh Taylor in that fight. Like, Josh's eye was massive, I thought the doctor could have stopped it, but... And I remember him saying that he actually found the Josh Taylor loss more painful than the Devin Haney loss. I think he said for the Devin Haney, fight, he just wasn't at the races, he wasn't there. But, when you fight your best, like he did against Josh Taylor, and still didn't win, that can be very painful. I was a bit surprised by that at first, but I guess I can understand it, thinking about it some more. And, yeah, I mean, as much as that, there's a lot to take from that Josh Taylor fight, and he's beaten decent guys like Zepeda. In the meantime, it was like 4 or 5 years ago now, that Josh Taylor fight, I mean, to be fair to Prograis, he looks quite young. I feel like he's keeping himself in good shape. In his interviews, he said he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do drugs. He eats clean, he does fasts to keep his weight down. So he keeps himself in good nick, but I just think he might be a little bit past his prime, 4 years ago since his best performance against Josh Taylor. I'll be intrigued to see how much he has left against Catterall. But you know what they say, a wounded animal is a dangerous animal. This is probably going to be his, last big fight. If he loses this, he's not getting back to world title over Lizzie. But this fight, if he wins it, there's another world title next. So he should be up for this fight. He should leave it all in the ring, and he'll want to redeem himself from that Devin Haney performance. And, I mean, to be honest, his record's pretty decent. I think he's 29-2, 24 KOs, so quite a high knockout ratio. And he's only lost twice, 2-time world champion. On paper, everything is decent. I was quite shocked by that Devin Haney performance. He just wasn't there at the races at all. It wasn't really competitive. It's one of those things with Devin Haney, like, it's a great performance, and again, it sort of just depends on how you spin it. Some people are like, oh, that's such a great performance, but whenever he, hurt Prograis in the fight, he would hit, and his instinct is just stay off. Like, it's never like hit, put your punches together, get him out of there. It's hurt him, stay back, win the round, which I get it, it's discipline, but it's kind of boring as well. I mean, it's hard to say without, being there live for the fight or listen to it or watching it, what the fight was like. But I was wondering at times, like, what were the fans feeling during this? Yes, it's a boxing masterpiece, but did it get a bit boring at times? And as you said, like, it's crazy how, like, quickly someone's stock can drop in boxing. Devin Haney, people call him the new Floyd Mayweather after that Prograis win. And now, after his loss to Garcia, he's sort of the laughing stock of boxing, really. Well, the perception of Garcia was that he was drinking during his camp, wasn't taking the fight seriously, was a bit all over the place, knocked him down 3 times. I mean, he was a bit overweight, and obviously there was an Austrian scandal. And then he tried to, sue him after. So I feel like it's crazy, isn't it? Like, he went from up there to, all the way down there, a lot of people kind of laughing at him. But that was a masterful performance from Devin Haney against Prograis. Haney did look really good. He was just outboxing him. And as you said, I don't know too much about Prograis, but they were saying that he can be a power puncher. He has got a bit of power, Prograis. But yeah, just couldn't get his work off. And I thought, Haney might be susceptible to power punches in general. Because obviously, Ryan Garcia's got a nasty left hook that, really troubled Haney. But, he was fine against Prograis. Honestly, on reflection, I think his dad needs to take a lot of criticism for his fight against Garcia. Haney, went in there with a war. He was like, oh my God, I've got to knock him out. There's no way that your head is in the right place. If I'm his dad, I'm saying just box him for 12 rounds. Don't kill him. Don't try and knock him out. Just use your boxing for 12 rounds and you'll get him out there. Look, I love Haney, but he has not got any power at all. You know, they were saying on the commentary he's been doing stuff to work on his power. He just hasn't got any. Like, even the knockdown against Prograis, it was a flash knockdown. It was just like he didn't see it coming. And even then, he got up in less than a second. I think it could be just because he doesn't put his punches together. Like, he'll hit you once and then, you know, if it looks good, he'll be like, right, that'll win me the round. I'll back off now. He doesn't sort of put his combinations together to try and dent him, to try and hurt him. Probably a bit scared of emptying his gas tank, which, as I said, is it disciplined or is it boring? I think it just kind of depends what you like. But I know Haney has got a lot of criticism for being in boring fights. And, you know, a lot of people outside the boxing, outside hardcore boxing fans don't really know him. They much prefer Ryan Garcia, who, you know, even though he had a loss to Tank, his stock was way higher just because he was a bit more exciting. You know, he always went for the knockout. So yeah, intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what Prograis got left. As for Jack Catterall, I expect him to win. I expect him to win comfortably. Jack Catterall is really good. Let's not forget, he could be the undisputed world champion because everyone believes, 90% of the boxing media believe he beat Josh Taylor when he was the undisputed champion. So with Catterall, we are looking at someone who could be, you know, an undisputed champion. You know, he beat Taylor, he beat Linares pretty comfortably as well. So yeah, I think if he walks through Catterall, if he walks through Prograis the same way Haney did, we'll be like, oh, we could have a champion on our hands here. And then he's got, I think it sounds like Parro or Hitchinson's going to be the next fight for him. But, you know, there's no reason after that, or instead of that, he doesn't fight a Haney, a Garcia when he's back. I'd love to see him fight Garcia. I really like Garcia. Like, he's just such an entertaining fighter. You know, my channel was doing so well when it was the whole Haney Garcia drama. He gets clicks. He's like Tyson Fury. Like, just so entertaining. I really like him, and I like his fight style as well. But gone off on a bit of a tangent there. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, if Catterall is as good as I think he is. He's southpaw. He's really hard to figure out, and he could cause a lot of problems for, you know, high operators. Prograis said that he thinks Jack Catterall is average. He thinks he can beat him, but I think Catterall is good. I think almost like Chris Billum-Smith, he's one of the guys where you think he can beat him, but then you get in the ring with him, you're like, oh, I don't know how to beat him. I think there's a number of nice fights in the undercard. The one with the biggest name, I think, is the rematch for Jimmy Joe versus Campbell Hatton. Yeah, again, this is an interesting one. It was the first fight was really good, right? Campbell Hatton had his chin tested. I just think for me, like, you know, when you're a son of a boxer, you've grown up rich, it's like, have you suffered enough to, like, get in the ring? Do you know, like, pain? You know, when you've been through struggle, growing up poor, not having any food, growing up in a council house, you know, you've suffered a lot, and that builds up your mental toughness. When things get tough in the ring, you're like, right, I've been here before, I know how to suffer. But for Campbell Hatton, it's like, if you've grown up, you know, I don't know, playing golf, having school trips, do you want to get in that ring? Do you, when things get dark and nasty and painful, can you fight through that? Again, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that in general, it's harder for guys from a wealthier background to understand the pain to sort of get in the ring. Again, I'm not saying you can't, but this is just helping the intrigue of the fight, right? Can Campbell Hatton go to that dark place to get a win over Jimmy Joe? Because if he doesn't do this, I think this is an area title, Southern area title or something. You know, I don't know if he's got a career in professional boxing. He might have to go on Misfits or just do small hall shows. So yeah, that's another exciting fight on the undercard. A good stylistic matchup, and there's a lot of jeopardy for whoever loses. So yeah, leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. What can we expect from Prograis? Is Catterall going to walk over him? And do we think Campbell Hatton can beat Jimmy Joe in the rematch? Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.